show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard. I woke up.
Hello, everyone. It's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock here in the mountains. So that must mean it's time for pACT. We are back at it today. As you saw, our little disclaimer. We've got our wine event. We're about ready to start rocking our wine event for July. And today we're going to be helping the Maria Barney Boston Scholarship Foundation. So we're going to be joined by Dr. Brenda, great friend of mine. You guys have seen her before. I've had her on here on a couple of our podcasts before. She's a great friend. She's so enlightening, so exciting, and so energetic, and it's just enthusiastic. And of course, we've got our dear friend, the goddess of the grapes, Stephanie Samos. So we're being produced by Emily Golmer and Sarah Goodell. So we're all hands on deck. We're waiting to see if we're going to get one more cause on. Hopefully we get them on, and if we do, we'll bring that to your attention. Hey, we've had a little bit of a change up on rebuilding the happy place, or rediscovering the happy place. Things were not rolling like I really wanted them to, so we're going to continue with the mission. Our mission is to save lives every day. We need to save lives every day. To do that, we need to start having the conversation. We're still going to be interviewing people who deal with mental illness. We're still going to be talking to individuals who have went through trouble. We're still going to be doing everything we can to start this conversation. And most important, we are still going to be working on the Stand Up Center. And so your donations are needed. And if you can join us, we beg you to please make sure that you join us. You can do this by visiting our website and going to the donation button, or you can find the jot form for the donation for rediscovering the happy place. So we have our apps out. Okay, they're out all over the place. You can find our Mission Partner app right here. You just go to that URL, and all of our wonderful mission partners are on there, like Dr. Brenda and Marie Barney Boston, and so many others that you have met on here. And we're hoping that keeps growing, because the more we keep helping, the better we can do. 80% of our profits are allocated to the communities in need. With a few clicks, you can make a difference in your community just by shopping. All you got to do is go onto that app right there, click on to the partners, find the partner that suits your needs, and then go down and find out who you want to support. Very simple, very easy. And let's be honest, this is making your purchases mean so much more. Every purchase can mean somebody else handing somebody a way to stand up and stand out. You can go to our website, communitypayitforward.us, to stay up with everything that's going on. We'll be adding some new partners here in the next day or two. We've got a couple people who we're excited to have joining us, and as soon as we get everything in order, we're going to be announcing those to you. We're always looking for new partners. If you sell, offer anything, any service that can be monetized, and you're willing to give us a referral award, we turn that referral award into a donation to the public. Once again, like we've been talking about Marie Barney Boston Scholarship Foundation. What did they do? they help kids further their education, not particularly in college. They help them further their education because some kids just don't see college a as what they want to do. Maybe they want to go to a tech school. Maybe they want to go to something else. But you're going to learn more about that here in a minute because, like I said, she's one of my dearest friends, and I just love talking to her. You can get a hold of me at networking@communitypayitforward.us, networking@communitypayitforward.us, or give me a call at 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. We're going to get started on this, and hopefully we're going to have one more person joining us. But right now, we're just going to bring up the goddess of the grape, Miss Stephanie Samos. How you doing, my dear?
I'm doing well. How are you, Zach?
Whew. Been an interesting day of kind of bouncing all around and doing all different kinds of things. How are you? You just got off another call, so I know you're kind of the same way.
It's been a fun start to July, I'll say that. But I hope everybody out there watching had a wonderful 4th of July and a great long holiday weekend. How was yours, Zach? Did you have a good weekend?
What? It was good. I had our foster child came and stayed with me for over the weekend, which was great. Got to take and watch him as his sister, in which I want to take a moment, and I want to congratulate Julie and her family for bringing in a little baby boy this morning. 4 pounds, or I'm sorry, 3 pounds, 4 ounces. He is a super preemie. So I beg everyone out there, please, please, please keep Julie and Xander in your thoughts because they need him. They need him. The little guy is going to be fighting for his life, but you know what? He's here. He's healthy. And if he had any parent in the world, Julie's the greatest person in the world. Julie, she's been helping kids in as a sanctuary house. So Julie's very wonderful. You know, she's taken in babies who have been abused and other things. So, you know, if there's a mom who can handle it, this kid lucked out. This kid got the mom of the year. So, but congratulations, Julie. You're a dear friend.
Huge congratulations, Julie.
So, all right, Stephanie. So we are here in July. Do you want to give us just a little bit of a post view of how we did last month?
Oh my goodness. So last month we heard from Veterans Honoring Veterans. We heard from the Lucas Project. I mean, I know that was a moving show. Myself, personally, you know, I was holding back tears the whole time. Lots of great shares there. Did really well. I actually have to reconnect with Bart. So we'll talk about that. But if you guys are new here and just watching us for the first time, I'll introduce myself because you're probably like, who is, I can't even say this, the goddess of the grapes. This makes me laugh.
Yeah, they're sitting there going, wait, there's somebody attractive on there, and it's definitely not Zach. So let's go with that.
So if you're watching for the first time, my name is Stephanie Samos. I am a cause entrepreneur with One Hope Wine. We are an award-winning Napa Valley winery that gives back with every single bottle of wine. So we've donated over $8.2 million to date. And what I love is that we can give back to our charities of choice, which I'm going to share even more about a little bit later on in the show. But what I do... Yeah, I cannot wait with these announcements today. We're not talking about specific wines today. I want to share all the really fun announcements with you all. But what I do is I specialize in fundraising, gifting, private wine events, and wine delivery. I cannot wait to hear from, the Scholarship Foundation. I can't wait to hear more about what that's about. And truly, Zach, this partnership has been amazing. You know, we have a really similar mission with the give back and what we do year round that, what is this? It's our 4th month? I don't know. I think it's our 4th month, right? It's our 4th month. And it just keeps going. And it's great to connect with these different causes because they all have kind of a different focus. Like we've had a few on for veterans, right? and they
Yep.
all have a different angle and approach with their support. So it's really great to just hear from the different organizations every month.
It is so great to be able to bring all of these missions that, few people have heard of, but we all need to support them because they do wonderful things. So, in saying that, I don't want to keep her in the green room anymore because I couldn't talk to her prior to the show. So, I am proud to bring you one of my very dear friends, Dr. Brenda Boston Hudson. Hello, Doc. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
It
How are
is so
you
Oh,
guys
nice
wonderful.
to meet
doing?
you.
Nice to meet you as well, Stephanie. Heard a
I
lot
can't wait.
about you.
Can't wait to hear more. I'm excited. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to tell you about our mission and what we do for these young people and where we are and what our needs are. So I'll join in when you're ready.
You know what, Doc? The show is going to be yours here, and I just want you to do me a favor. Why don't you tell us exactly what is the Marie Barney Boston Scholarship Foundation? Can you tell us your mother started this and you're keeping her mission alive? Why don't you go on ahead and tell us why your mom started this and tell us this one? I love this story, so I'm excited to hear it again.
Well, my mom is Dr. Marie Barney Boston. As you can see, that's that's who we are. The
Right?
Dr. Marie Barney Boston Scholarship Foundation. Mom was an educator. She was an avid educator. She was an advocate for education. All we know is education. I retired from the state of New York, came back home here in Jacksonville, Florida, to actually take care of mom and dad in 2015. I needed something to keep them busy while I was completing my doctorate degree in clinical practice. So mom pulled this team together. She actually got the legalities. She ran the foundation actually for a couple of years before both of them passed away in August of 2019. I picked up the baton to continue her legacy of educating young people from many communities. These are underserved, under-resourced, underprivileged young people that really wants to go to college but don't have the tools, the resources to get there and to remain there. So our mission is to assist them financially. So what do we have to do? We have to raise funds.
Yep.
And that's what the foundation does. There's multiple fundraisers throughout the year. We're constantly getting donors, getting corporate sponsorship. I'm delving into DAFs. Those are donor advised funds. So I'm glad to partner with Zach and his organization and to continue meeting folks such as yourself, Stephanie, so that we can help the foundation grow and send more students to college because those are our futures. And they will continue when we're gone. So that's what the Marie Barney Boston Scholarship Foundation does.
Okay, Stephanie, I'm just going to ask you this question. I told you, aren't you energized? When she speaks, you just feel it through your bones. I mean, you really do. She's such a great speaker. She's got so much energy. So,
Thank you, Zach.
I
Doc,
love what you're doing.
yeah,
Let me just say that I love that. And it's true. Not everybody has access to the resources. So that's just amazing. Are there certain events that you put on sometimes in order to kind of get the community together and rally for these scholarships?
Yes, we do. We've partnered with schools around the country. We've partnered with the Jacksonville Chamber of Commerce right here in Jacksonville. We've partnered with the state of Colorado. We applied to the state of Colorado. We received our solicitation contribution registration number. So anyone around the U.S. can look for us on their charity directory and see that we're legit and what we're doing to send these young folks off to school and to mentor them while they're there and to keep them there until they walk across that stage.
I love that.
And as I mentioned before, Doc, it doesn't have to be a school. It can be a trade school, correct?
That is correct. Vocational certificates are certainly available. We've partnered with ProTrain out of North Carolina. We've partnered with Google Grow, our community. And of course, Google is always looking for these youngsters that are high tech and can certainly take them to the next level. So, yeah, we do offer those vocational certificates as well.
That's that to me is so important because of the fact not every child and you know let's just say this, you know, there are times that kids are growing up a lot faster nowadays.
Yes,
Kids are becoming adults because of decisions made a lot earlier. Kids are forced into adulthood quite a bit earlier because of, you know, just the way that things are today. And so they might not have time for a full school schedule. And what you're doing is still offering them not just hope, but a chance at life that's never
absolutely.
been there before. Um,
Absolutely.
what are some of why don't you do me a huge favor and give me one of your success stories? What is one of your favorite success stories?
This year, 2022, the recipients in the 2019 class graduated. There were two successful graduates out of the three that we sponsored. That brought chills to my body because we were there for them. We encouraged them. We inspired them. We visited them. Not only did we send them the financial resources, but we become family when they become recipients of the Marie Bonnie Boston Scholarship Foundation.
That's fantastic. What are some of the things that people can really help you out? We I and I always say this, we know cash is king. Cash runs the world. What are some of the other things that you guys could use and to help mentor some of these kids?
Well, there are a few things. We have not only Pay It Forward, but we also have partnered with Amazon Smile. And anyone, and you know, that's all we do now. We shop online.
Yep.
You could actually put the Marie Bonnie Boston Scholarship Foundation. They're located in the charity list, and any purchases you make with Amazon Smile, a portion of those profits come to the foundation directly into the foundation's checking account. That's one resource. We're always looking for not only donors, and I'll certainly give you that website that I see listed there on the bottom of the page, www.mariebbsf.org. All of our information is there. You can donate on the donate button on the web page. My goodness, we're always in need of board members. We're always in need of volunteers to assist with those activities that we put on during the year. And just being a part of the foundation certainly allows you to become a part of that family that want to continue to give back the way that our community gave to us. You know, we had family support growing up. A lot of
Mm.
these youngsters don't have that support anymore. So we provide that with as a part of our mentoring program. That's a large part of it. They have to keep up with us monthly. We keep up with them quarterly, and we all come together and interact. Before they even come into the program, they're interviewed. Not only is they selected, but we have to know who we're dealing with. And of course, they know who they're dealing with. And they sign an agreement with us that they will allow us to mentor them. It's just not free money and you run away. We actually are there for them. And the results are phenomenal. You know, there are data that we actually garner, and that data allows us and it drives that action. What else are we going to do? Or what changes, what improvements that we're making over the years? So, yeah, it keeps us very busy. That's my passion right now. It's not that I left the medical field altogether, but right now, my mission is these young people.
Okay, well, you can tell your hubby back there. I believe that's him. He didn't get away from the camera. So tell him that was a nice attempt to sneak through there, but we got you, buddy. So that was a nice.
Don't feel bad. That happens to my husband all the time.
But it was nice to finally meet him. So hey, how's it going?
And you know, he's my right arm. He's right there with us, you know. Well,
you know, I'm glad to know that he's there, because I know that you put so much into this, and like I've said before, you know, you're so energetic, and I love having any conversation with you. Duck, when you're talking to a kid, to a child, what are some of the reasons why, and the reason I'm asking this question is, there are some kids out there who are listening right now that maybe they're sitting there going, okay, well, they help this, but do they help this situation? Maybe we have a young lady who has had a child, and it's harder for her to attend classes and stuff like that. You guys really, really want to make sure that youngster not only continues their education, but you guys are there to help, as you say, mentor them and make things easier for them to make this hard adjustment, because life is different after a child.
Life is different after a child. I will be totally honest with the listening audience that there have not been, in the 5 years that we've been in existence, there have not been anyone that have children and they're trying to go to school. And it's not that we don't assist them as well, but they may be looking at the certification program, which requires them to remain at home. The workshops are online, and the certification guarantees, once they receive the certification, it guarantees work, job placement.
Something like an IBMC or something like that.
That is correct.
Sorry.
That is correct.
We are not sponsored by IBMC. IBMC does not know I use their name. Please do not sue me.
Yes, so, you know, like I said, Google is our main source of workshops, because those jobs are currently in demand. And all of the youngsters have a cell phone. They're computer savvy. They teach us, and they Google love them because they're fast. They're creative, innovative minds, critical thinkers. And, you know, if we hang with young people, we will remain energized and young at heart. So I think that's why I love my purpose, because the youngsters do something for us older millenniums or baby boomers. Yes, yes, indeed.
Yeah, they do something for us, all right. But no, I'm joking. both of my boys are in their 20s, so yeah, I trying to keep up with them is
Yes,
difficult.
yes. And you know what? Hang in there.
Oh,
Try as best as possible to keep up with them. They can learn from us,
oh
and we
yeah.
can also learn from them.
Yeah, I always think it was funny that my kids, I can tell who taught them when they were younger, because whenever I say something that I ask them a question that should be obvious, they think should be obvious, they get that same look that I used to give them. It's like, what, or why are you asking me? They give me the exact same look, and I'm like going, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have taught them that look, because now I kind of feel
You
so.
know, they emulate what they see,
Oh
they
yeah.
emulate what they hear.
And they do what they learn.
That's right.
So, all right, Doc. Then in that case, why don't you give us a couple of examples of some kids, like the situations that they're in, that they come to you and ask you for help?
The young man that graduated this past month from Florida State University, when he came to us, he was introduced to us by one of my colleagues in the community. He graduated from my alma mater high school, and we do deal closely with the high school that I graduated from many, many years ago. But he came to us because he wanted to go to college. He wasn't living with his parents, he was living with his grandparents, and they could assist on a small scale. So when he came to us, I talked with him one on one. Smart individual. And he went through the application process. He was selected by the board of directors of the foundation, was interviewed and met the requirements and signed off on the agreement that we would be partners. That was all she wrote, because that young man never once came home from college. He remained at school in his dorm room, and he went to school year round. That was perseverance and dedication. And before he graduated, a corporation out of Houston, Texas, reached for him. That really makes you say to yourself and to the community, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing at this time in our lives.
Well, congratulations and great job. We are proud of you. We join the foundation in supporting everything that you do, and from here on out. Um, so the way that this is going to work, uh, Doc, is Miss Samos here has wonderfully created this beautiful little flyer that you will be getting
Okay.
along with us, to where we're going to share this wonderful looking flyer with everybody. And let me get this out of here so you can see it. And if you order some wonderful wine, just one bottle right here. If you order some wonderful wine from that QR code right there, a portion of it goes to Marie Barney Boston Scholarship Foundation. It is summertime. We are having barbecues. We're having backyard events. We're having get-togethers, family reunions, weddings, all that fun stuff. So let's get some wines ordered, and let's really, this is a chance for us to really do some good and support some great causes. As you've heard, this is a wonderful, wonderful cause. You've got, this is our kids of the future,
Yeah.
and there's, I've always, and I know I say this often, but I've always been one of those people that I love my kids, yours not so much, but the truth is that, we need to make sure that every kid has a chance.
Yes.
And you know, Doc, that's one of the reasons why you are so important. Your foundation, your mother's foundation, why you guys are so important here is this is giving children a chance.
Yes.
And I want to, you know, just I want to pass on my undying love and respect to you and thank you for everything that you're doing. Stephanie, can you please go on ahead and tell us about this flyer and tell us about the virtual event, please?
Absolutely. I just want to say, you know, an education is something that nobody can take away from you. And I was blessed to be able to have gone through school. I did commute. I worked full time while I went. I did go year round. I took summers. I took the winter sessions. I did all the things.
Yeah.
And I was very grateful to be almost done with my master's degree when my first little one was born. So go to school, you guys. If you're watching this, go, you know, get the resources together, go. So important. Yeah, just listening to you speak, it's so funny because I'll just share quickly. My husband and I are on completely opposite ends. You know, I'm like this traditional, you know, college school, and he's more on the vo-tech kind of side. You know, he's more the handy guy, and we complement each other well. So, but school's so important. All right. Yeah. And I love everything that you're doing. It was really a pleasure to hear more about all that you have going on. If you want to just shop to support the foundation, the QR code is there on the left. You can shop for wines there. 10% of any purchase goes back to the foundation. In addition, for every $50 we raise collectively as a group through this event, I'm going to donate $25 personally. So share it around with your friends. You know, if you heard from Brenda and you're like, wow, share it around. Doesn't cost anything to click the share button and share this broadcast around because they're doing some really incredible work. But maybe you want to dig in a little bit more, right? Join us on the virtual event. That's the QR code right there on the right. We are posting there all month long, different seasonal recipes, different pairings, things for the season. So if you want to dive in and take a deeper look into the different wines that we have on the website, check us out over there. And I'm available there for contact too if you need some recommendations. So that's a little bit about the QR codes. And what's really funny, Brenda, you mentioned Amazon Smile, and I feel like this is my cue to mention this. We just had a major website update with One Hope, and every shopper now can select a cause of choice with every single purchase. So let's say we don't have this event going on anymore next month. They can go on and actually select your foundation to give back to with every single purchase. So think about our wine club as like the Amazon Smile or Amazon Prime, you know, those auto shipments for your wine club.
Yeah.
Or better yet, the community pay it forward.
Yes.
Right. Right. Yes. So no, when you mentioned that, I said that's so funny because now you can set it and forget it and your wine is going to give back to the foundation. So wanted to mention that too.
And so every time you get yourself one of these, another child will be going to school.
That's right.
Imagine that. And it's so wonderful how that works every time from now on. So this means you can go back to our very first month when we had Brian and when we had the from Project Die Hard and the Avery Center. Or after that, we had John with the Martyred Angels and JR from the Veterans Ranch. Last month with the Lucas Project and Veterans Honoring Veterans. This month, we've got Dr. Brenda Boston Hudson. Folks, not just this month, anytime.
Yes.
This means anytime now. It's a great deal, and we're so excited that has happened. So, Doctor, let me ask you another question here before we move on to my favorite part, where I get to try one of the wines. And let me ask you, what do these kids need to do to find out if they qualify?
They can go to the website. That's www.mariebbsf.org. The requirements for undergraduate or graduate studies are on the website. The requirements for the certification is on the website. The application is electronic, it's on the website. Once it's completed, and the deadline is always May 31st of every year. You don't even have to think about it. It's May 31st of every year. They can start filling out that application January 1st and submit it up until that deadline of May 31st of every year. That application is electronic and come directly to the board of directors. Late August, the review process takes place. Once those applications are reviewed, selected, and approved by the board members, we reach out to those applicants. They become recipients at that point. We request from them a letter of acceptance from the college. They send that information to the board of directors, and a check will go to the financial department of that institution and will be dispersed.
That's just, it's wonderful, because like I said before, you know, we don't know what kids can do until they get the chance to do it.
Right.
And this
Right.
has really given these young men and women, it really gives them a chance to prove what they can do. You know, this is one of those things that you go from being held back to given that hand that you need
Yes.
to move you forward.
Yes.
So, well, Doc, I want to thank you very much, and I encourage you, if you would like, to stick around and watch Stephanie's part here. She's going to talk about some of the wines. If you have to get running, you are more than welcome to leave at this point in time. But we would love to hear from you again. We've got your phone number right here. People can give you a call just to talk about this and find out more, right?
Yes, they may. And I would like to thank you, Zach. You've certainly been a partner. I'm so happy to meet Stephanie, and I'm sure we will partner as well. Thank you guys so very, very much from the bottom of my heart.
Well, you know what, Doc? Coming from me, I couldn't do what we're doing without great people who do things like you do. And it's people like yourself that really make it worthwhile, knowing that someday there's going to be a kid that's going to get a chance to go to school that would not have had this opportunity
That's
because
right.
we helped
That's right.
the Marie Barney
That's
Boston
right.
Scholarship Foundation.
That's
And that
right.
is a wonderful, wonderful feeling. So
Thank
thank
you.
you for
I'm
the
going to hang
compliment.
around for a little while. I'm going to listen to Stephanie tell us about the wines. You know, by the way, on the end of the month, I think it's the 28th, and it's on the website already. We are having a ribbon cutting ceremony. We moved in March of this year from home base to an incubator, a business incubator where there's 35 businesses under the same roof. So the Chamber of Commerce is actually giving us a ribbon cutting ceremony. This will be great for them. There's like 3,000 folks in the chamber here. And we're going to sell a lot of wine, Stephanie.
That sounds great. So, well, that absolutely sounds fantastic. Let me ask you this, Doc. If you can get somebody to record that for you, we'd love to see it, and we'd love to share that with some of the people who
Absolutely.
can't make it. So
Absolutely.
that's a very
It will
important
be
thing.
streamed, so we'll certainly record it for you.
Well, that's fantastic. So, again, thank you for everything you do. Stick around for a couple minutes. We'd love to make sure that you get the last word in this segment. So, all right, Stephanie, goddess of the grape, you're up.
So much passion. How do I follow that?
Yeah.
This
Well,
is so hard to follow. Oh my
you
goodness.
you've got to help me here. How exactly do you say, is it Pinot Noir? Am I
Pinot
even
Noir.
Okay.
You had the frizzante in your hand though before. Make sure if you're opening that, it's going to be chilled. You want to chill that one, that bubbly.
Okay.
But you're opening the Pinot Noir.
That'll be the 15th that we're doing that one. The Pinot Noir is today.
Okay.
So you want to give us a little bit about that one, please?
Yeah. No, actually, I sampled that last night. I had a really refreshing salad at dinner and had some chilled Pinot Noir. That one's really light. Really light. You know, I'm curious what your feedback is going to be on it because I know you tend to like really sweet. It isn't super dry. It's actually a really great wine for a sangria this time of year, though. So if you're somebody who likes a little bit more sweetness, like Zach, putting it into a sangria, chilling it with your favorite fruits overnight, where the fruits are really going to soak up the wine. I love the way the berries taste when it's chilled.
Yes.
I'll be honest. I didn't know that you could chill any red wine when I first started with One Hope. I'm just a mom that enjoys a glass of wine. I'm not a wine sommelier or any of that, right? So when our head winemaker, Mari, mentioned, you know, Pinot Noir is great chilled also this time of year, I said, want to try it that way. And the tasting profile is a little bit different for me when it's room temp versus when it's cold. So if you haven't tried it one way or the other, I encourage you to see which way you like best. What do you think, Zach?
I actually really like it, and I am really, really glad that it was Sarah that I had to ask, am I supposed to chill it? And she goes, you can drink it either way. And I said, which way does it taste better? And she goes, chilled.
Good job, Sarah. Yes.
I can most definitely tell you that if I had the fresh fruit to put in this, I really, really like this one. The description has notes of ripe raspberries, dark cherry, and hint of cinnamon.
Don't you love how you could just read off the bottle, Zach? Like you could do my job.
That is great. You know, me being able to read is a good thing, you know. I mean, so, but you know, I really, really, really do taste dark cherry in this. And the funny thing about it is that I love dark cherry. I drink dark cherry all the time, you know, cherry sodas and even my waters, I've got dark cherry, stuff like that. So, you know, but yes, I would actually have to go so far as to say of all the wines that you've generously sent me, this is probably my favorite.
Yes. So, oh, that's so exciting. I love that Pinot Noir. It's delicious. And Sarah also mentioned that watermelon or strawberries are really nice with that wine chilled. So maybe, you know, if you don't get through that bottle today, Zach, you know, something to think about to chill for tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, I might have to get another one because I do kind of like this. So I might have to get another bottle here sooner or later. Maybe help Doc make a couple bucks, you know. So
yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. And hey, Doc, if you need anything for that ceremony from me, I'm happy to create something for you, you know, that you can easily share.
I was going to ask you, how many choices of wines do One Hope has?
We have different collections. There's probably more than 50 wines on the website right now.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a good variety, you know, and different price points for different palettes too. We have some really exciting new releases. I talked about the Bloom collection the last time we were live, which is a brand new Rosé, Pinot Noir, and Sauvignon Blanc. And at the time when I was presenting them, I hadn't tasted the Pinot or the Sauv Blanc. So I said that. I was like, this is the tasting profile. I haven't tried them yet. Just being honest, they just launched, so it's hard to get through all of it, you know, to share. But I have since then tried them. Delicious, light. I think there's like 2% of Muscat grape mixed into those varietals. So you get that little hint of sweetness for summer too. Like really great, light, refreshing wine for summer. So I wanted to share that. Yeah. Lots of choices for any kind of wine lover, from a novice to, you know, to those who have experienced Napa. You know, we can kind of, and everywhere in between. You don't have to know anything about wine to really enjoy a glass with us. So,
you know, Doc, they've also got this wonderful, wonderful program where they've got little bottles for people to sample. They've got little,
Nice.
yeah. So there, you know, One Hope Wines has so many things for so many different types of wine. Wine connoisseurs, shall we say? Oh, I used a big word.
Exactly.
You know, it's brain juice.
Yeah.
So, but you know, there's so many different things for people to try these wines. Stephanie, tell us about the wine club.
Yeah, sure. As you mentioned, the flights, great option. 4 of our best-selling wines with those flights. If you're a first-time customer, if you're a first-time supporter of the foundation, you can get our sparkling brut. I actually have a mini bottle here that I can show you. We have our little sparkling brut. It is a little mini. These are great for favors too, for events. You get our Chardonnay, our Pinot Noir, which Zach is drinking, and our Cabernet come in those flights. Wine Club. I love sharing about Wine Club. I always say it's the second best thing that we have on the website because there's no cost to join. A lot of people who are familiar with Napa Valley and wine from Napa, they're like, well, how much does it cost to join your wine club? It's free. You save on the first shipment. It's free. There's no cost. And what's really great is that the supporters can just select you as the cause right from the beginning, and boom, going forward, any Wine Club shipments will give back to your cause. So how Wine Club works is you get to select the frequency of shipments. It could be monthly, every other month, quarterly, your choice, and you get to build your own box with the wines that you really enjoy. So if you love red, white, rosé, bubbly, whatever it is, or maybe you like them all, like some of us, you can put whatever you'd like in your box, and free shipping. You get access to exclusives, and you earn wine rewards on your purchase too, which really means you have points towards free wine going forward. So really fun way to give back even more while you sip throughout the year. And gift. I love it too for gifts. My kids just finished school. We had another year of cyber. My kids' teachers definitely got a nice box of wine at the end of the year because they were so patient, and we had a really, really great school year. So it's great for gifting too, and you get those perks with those in-between orders as well if you need to place them. So the free shipping, the rewards, and the wine credits all are applied for any gifts that you want to send out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of gifts, you guys have a special package, bottle package, that you can do things with the bottles to commemorate an event, like maybe an upcoming ribbon cutting.
Right. So I love that you prompted me for that. Great.
It's almost like I know what I'm doing.
We have shimmer bottles, right? This one's a silver one that says cheers to you. We have the ability to customize these with logos, slogans for certain events and things. So I don't know if you can see right here, but this one says cheers to you, but we can customize these. So we have them in silver, gold, and our newest color. This one has a label on it, but our newest color is pink. So we do have these. It's great for marketing. Also, realtors really love putting their branding on these. So that's a lot of fun. And I actually have a gift box here that I figured I'd show because it says One Hope on the side, but we can actually etch into these too. I want to talk Christmas in July. Yes. Because there's the extra savings right now that they just dropped, which is crazy. But you can support Brenda's foundation, right? As long as you have 12 gifts or more, you can get bulk discount in the month of July too, with any gifts. So we have custom crates as well, depending on what you're looking for. And what just launched is, I don't have the exact labels. I'm going to be posting this on the event page, but with our Cabernet and our Chardonnay, we have 5 different templates of customizable labels now, which is really cool. And we can do that just with a case of wine, just one case, and we can customize labels for an event. So that's really cool too. And all of these things that I mentioned apply with the Christmas in July additional discount, and the donation's still being made too. So Chardonnay and Cabernet for the labels right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Zach.
Hey, well, thank you, because as always, I mean, you make this so easy. Whoa, what is going on there? That's not a good look, but
I think the computer is as excited as we are.
Yeah, I think the computer is going, it's extremely hot and you want me to work. What are you doing? So once again, we have our QR codes here. The one that you see down towards the bottom is the Marie Barney Boston Scholarship Foundation. Use that one. You open it up and it takes you to a menu of the wines, and you can look around and browse and do they have the pairing notes or everything in there so they can kind of know what they're looking at?
Absolutely. On the website, it goes through tasting notes for every single wine. All you have to do is click on it. It'll open up a page with just that wine, all the details, sweet, sweetness, body, light through, full, all of that. And also some pairing suggestions are listed there too. So that kind of gets people thinking, are they going to be eating more meat, more fish, things like that?
Yeah.
There's some pairing suggestions there too. So yeah. And the virtual event page is a great place to reach out. If you do have questions about anything that we shared today, you can reach out to me there. I'm always posting on the page. If anybody needs recommendations on wines or has a question about gifts or favors, we can certainly connect and make sure that it's giving back to the foundation.
Fantastic. I love it.
And folks, I encourage you to please follow Stephanie on Facebook, because the Marie Barney Boston Scholarship Foundation, we hope that that you follow what we're doing, and we hope that you purchase a wine here. But this isn't the only thing that Stephanie does. Stephanie has many other events that she takes and supports. So let's also support her on some of the other things that she does. I like to make sure that we give them a little bit of a shout out, because having Dr. Brenda here is a great honor of mine. But the truth is that Dr. Brenda knows that we also care about everybody. So make sure that you spread the love, take and buy 5 bottles for Dr. Brenda and then 1 for somebody else. That's it. No, I'm joking. Buy as many as you can, but please do drink responsibly. Stephanie, why don't you do me a favor and give us the information about the wonderful winemakers that you have?
Yeah, sure. So I'll give you a little bit of a background on One Hope. So we are a cause-centered winery out of Napa Valley. To date, we've donated over $8.2 million locally and globally, and to over 32,000 different nonprofits, which is kind of cool. Yeah. So how we do that is first through our One Hope Foundation, where our main pillars of giving are for clean water, ending hunger, health, and education initiatives. So see, education's in there, you guys. We've actually built schools with Pencils of Promise. I don't know if you're familiar with the foundation, Brenda, but we've assisted them with building schools and places to provide education. So similar initiatives here, all around. Yeah. Some of the most incredible winemakers in the industry. You might be familiar with the Mondavi name, Robert Mondavi Jr., the grandson is actually one of our winemakers. Our winery is actually right next door to the Mondavi Vineyard in the heart of Napa. So if you're ever in that area, we're right there, right next door. Tony Coltrane, who came from Opus One, and our head winemaker, Mari Wells Coyle, who is just incredible. When you hear her speak about wine, she can take you on a journey with how she explains it. So I often use her language and her notes when I explain wine, because she can just take you to another place, and it's like an experience in itself to drink that glass of wine. So we are a private wine label. Our winemakers do make our wine. We may source grapes from different areas. However, from the grape to your glass, our winemakers are involved in that. So we're not sourcing from other companies or anything like that. And our wine is award-winning. So we're really proud that we have more than 5 90+ point rated wines in our portfolio. and at a price for any table, under $25 when a box is built. And what's really convenient is that no matter where you are, you don't have to be in Brenda's area. We ship across the U.S. in
That's
3
right.
to 5 business days. So you can support this organization from anywhere in the U.S. We ship to 46 states. The last few is just because they have delivery laws with alcohol. We're working on that. We're adding them slowly. So really, let's step and make a big impact for this cause, because education is really everything. This is our next generation coming up. So really, really important.
Well, again, I think that this is, like I said, I was so excited when I reached out to you, Doc, and you accepted this help. You were one of them. I really wanted to get out there, and we know that the school year just ended, but this is a great way to start making sure that we've got, that you've got that money to start up, send some kids this upcoming school year.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
you need support. How do once again, if you can just let us know, how do people reach out to you?
Well, you can put that number up there again along with the
I will.
website. There you go. 845-323-3725 is my personal cell. I pick it up all the time. Or you can go on the website www.mariebbsf.org. You can contact me through the website as well. My email address is B for Brenda, Boston, BOSTON, HUD at MARIEBBSF.org.
Well, Doc, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. I want to thank your husband for joining us, even though he didn't mean to. But we'd like to make sure that he does join us sometime. I'd love to meet him. So. And then we ask that you join us again. We're going to be meeting again on is it the 15th, Stephanie? Is that?
14th or 15th, we were kind of deciding how we were going to pre-record, I think, for that one.
But we're going to be, we'll be releasing it right around the halfway mark, but that way we can tell people a little bit about how things are going, and tell them, tell the story of you again, and your mom's foundation, because we want to make sure that people keep going on this, and now it's even so much more important, because now this could be a donation for the rest of their lives every time that they order wine. So, this is so great. So, but Doc, I appreciate you joining us again. Thank you for doing this, and we look forward to talking
and
to you later.
likewise, guys. Steph, you gonna send me that flyer?
Absolutely. I will reach out to you via email, and I'll get you whatever you need for your ceremony. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see the footage from it.
So am I, guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Doc. You have a great day, and thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Very good. Thank you. Bye now.
Goodbye. Well, Stephanie, I'm just going to say that I think that we've got a winner of a cause there. As I'd mentioned before, there's really nobody more exciting than Dr. Brenda. She is just, she talks.
Her passion just radiates through the screen.
You always hear the term, they want to run through a wall. I want to run through a wall for her, because she's that energetic and that passionate about what she does. So, Stephanie, how do people, in which I made a mistake and forgot to ask you for it, but how do people get a hold of you? Can you give us your link tree?
I can absolutely give you my link tree.
Yeah, if you can do that, we're going to go ahead and share it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I will tell you once again, this is my favorite so far of all of them that I've tasted. This one is by far, yeah.
I love that. It's one of my favorites also, especially this time of year. Let's see, where did you go? Here you are. And also, if you're on our event page, I'm in there. You can shoot me a message right there or tag me on the page and say, hey, I need some help. Happy to reach out to you there. But if you want to connect via email or another way, all of my links with social media are right there on my link tree.
And we encourage you, please, if you have some experience with One Hope Wines, if you have some pairings that you want to share your pairings. This isn't about us. This is about all of us. Actually, it's about all of us. We just want to take and we want to make sure people are having a good time, doing good things, making good choices, and sharing to great causes, great wine to great causes. So we encourage you to please be as active as you can be. Right there, you see Stephanie's link tree. Make sure that you hit her up because everything on there, you're going to need to make sure that we keep Dr. Brenda as energetic as she is. So once again, she's doing wonderful things with kids, and we need to make sure that we support her.
I'll mention this too. If you're watching this and you're like, wow, I'd love to be able to help support the foundation. I'd love to host a wine tasting. Connect with us. We can set it up where you can gather your friends, have a fun event, and give back to the foundation that way as well.
And Stephanie, one last thing before I go on ahead and let you go as well. You guys are hiring.
Always. So we didn't get to over $8 million just with one person, right? Across the country, we really do need more cause entrepreneurs doing what I do, fundraising year round, and being able to give back to important causes locally and globally. I love that we have this platform to be able to choose, right? So think about the big impact you can make in your community for your child's school, your local church, your favorite nonprofit organization, whether it's to support a medical cause, veterans, the local dog rescue that you love, whatever that is, we have the ability and platform to do that year round. So if you have any questions about the business side of One Hope, I'm always happy to chat about that. I feel like that's the best thing that I have to offer on the website.
And again, this is a way that you can share some great wines with the people that you know and support a lot of the great causes that they know. This is one of the best ways there is to get it out in front of people, because we need to make sure that people understand that these causes are out there. We want to grow to where Marie Barney Boston Scholarship Foundation is on everybody's lips. We want to make sure that you guys know that it's there if you need it. It's there when you want to support it, and it's there because they care. So, Stephanie, I want to thank you so much for joining us again this month. And, it took some work, but we kicked off July.
We did it. Thank you for having me, Zach. It's always so much fun.
You are, as I love to say, you are the goddess of the grape. We love having you here. We couldn't do it without you. So we want to just say thank you for joining us again. Please remember, make sure you check out Stephanie's link tree right down there. Make sure you join us whenever you think about Marie Barney Boston or any of the missions that we've had on here. If you have any questions, just reach out. She is more than happy to share any information with you. So, Stephanie, thank you very much.
Thank you, Zach. Cheers.
Yep. Cheers to a great cause. Let's raise a glass to a great cause. There we go. I almost forgot it. So, but we'll be right back with a recorded interview from one of my dearest friends, a great partner. So just stick with us.
Hey folks, I'm Chip Wynn with Chip Wynn Motors and Chip Wynn Classic Cars right here in Paducah, Kentucky. Today I want to tell you about something that's near and dear to my heart, Project Die Hard. Now what is that? That is an organization set up to help our veterans who are transitioning from military life back into civilian life and to help them do it in a healthy, good way. We need your support, we need your help, we need your financial help. What we're going to do is the weekend of July 28th, 29th, and 30th, we're going to have a massive celebration and a fundraiser for Project Die Hard. Even Saturday, July the 30th, we are going to have a classic car show. Not only our cars will be in it, but the public will be invited to participate as well. Now is the time to step up and support a really worthy organization. Project Die Hard. Come on and join us.
We're only a couple weeks away before that event goes on, so please remember, if you want to be part of Project Die Hard, please remember to reach out to them. They are projectdiehard.org, projectdiehard.org. They're still needing help. We need you to reach out to them. Why not get in front of people? It's what you do in business, so let's make sure that your sponsorship dollars really count. So we are going to continue this with a conversation I had earlier this morning with a really dear friend of mine. One of the greatest stories I can tell as a business owner is that this gentleman, he and his wife, after we had a conversation, I was telling him about an event that I was having. He and his wife decided to go on ahead and take this time, and we joke about it a little bit in this, but his wife had some friends, or has some family in the Denver area, and Tommy and his wife decided that they were going to go on ahead and make their vacation around my event, and they came out to support Families, Cubs, and Causes this time last year. So this gentleman means a lot to me because he made that sacrifice. He came out, he joined us, and it'll be something that as a business owner and as a person who just as a friend, I'll never forget what he did for me. So it's a fantastic thing. But this is one of my dearest friends from the Utility Bill Pro. This is Tommy Bopp. Once again, it's Utility Bill Pro. Enjoy this video. I had a great time making it, so I hope you enjoy it.
Hey everybody, Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dairy Care, and the pACT channels. We are in the middle of all of our interviews today with our partners, great friends from all over the country. As a matter of fact, who do some wonderful things, and what we're doing is we're telling you their stories. We're going to introduce you to these wonderful people so you can know who they are, what they do, and you utilize them, and you can raise money for some great causes that need your help right now. My guest right now is a really good friend of mine. This gentleman did something that was amazing. He took and he came all the way from his home out east to come and see us and one of our events about a year ago, Tommy, correct?
August, that's right.
Yeah, and we're going to claim he came just to do that. It had nothing to do with his wife having relatives there in Denver. Nothing. He just came to see us. But yeah, so and it really took me off guard how tall this guy is. He doesn't seem that tall in that little box that you see in front of you. He's pretty tall. So, but I'm being joined today by Mr. Tommy Bopp. Tom, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Zach. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing very well. So. You switched from Balcom to Utility Bill Pro. Why the change?
Yes, I changed my name about actually less than a year ago. The reason is because I started doing all these, it's a byproduct of COVID. I started doing all these networking events and these Zoom events, and I had never really thought much about my company name before. I had named it the Balcom Group because it sounded like a group of consultants. So, and there was a group of us at the time. So, it seemed like a professional name. but it didn't convey anything, Zach. You hear the Balcom group, you don't know, well, was that a group of lawyers or accountants? You don't know what it is. It really didn't matter at the time because I would always meet everybody in person and explain what it is. But now people are looking at my website and my LinkedIn profile, and my name needs to convey what I do. And so it was brainstorming between me and a couple other guys, and we decided Utility Bill Pro lets people know what I do, that I'm someone with expertise and experience when it comes to reviewing utility bills.
What you do and what you specialize is very simply put in your guys' tagline, and that's let your bills pay you. Why don't you explain to us exactly how the process goes?
Yeah, absolutely. What we do is get a copy. Let's say we sign up somebody, never have worked with this person before, and we need to get a copy of each one of their utility bills. Now, when I say utility bills, that means power, gas, water, telephone, any phone bill they have, could be local, long distance, cellular, and also the solid waste disposal. So I just need 1 month's worth of that billing. Then I also get a letter of authorization signed by the client. And with that information, I can access their history online. So I can go back and look at their billing history for 3 to 5 years, depending on where it is. And so what I'm trying to do is find errors in the billing. That's all I do, Zach. I don't have any product to sell. I'm not trying to help them use less energy. I'm just trying to help them pay as little as possible for the energy that they do use. So let's say I review all the bills and I find 2 or 3 errors on the billing. The next step, and this is very important, I don't go to the utility company to correct them. I come back to the client and I say, hey, look, here's what I found. Here's how much it will save you. Do you want me to correct these errors? I always do that because the customer needs to know the ball's in his court. He's making all the decisions. He's running the ship, not me. And so at that point, I may come back with these errors and he can tell me to go jump in the lake. He doesn't want to fix them. Now, I've been doing this for almost 30 years, Zach. No one has ever, not even once, told me, don't correct those errors. But it makes them feel comfortable at the beginning of the process because they don't know what it is I'm going to come back with. And they think, oh, maybe you're going to come back and tell me I need to turn my lights off when I leave the building, or I need better insulation, something like that. I don't do any of that. And you can't quantify that anyway. What I do when I correct these errors is quantifiable right down to the penny. And the reason our tagline is let your bills pay you, Zach, it's something people don't think about. They understand that if I come in and I correct this error, their bills are going to be lower going forward. But what most of them don't realize is that you also are entitled to a refund. You've been overpaying. And now I point this out to the utilities, say, look, you guys made a mistake. You overcharged. You need to give them their money back that they overpaid. There's a statute of limitations with every state, and it varies from 3 to 5 years, but they will go back 3 to 5 years, refund that money with interest. So a relatively small error can produce a pretty large lump sum. So I always tell people, wouldn't it be nice to go to the mailbox and instead of there being a bill from the power company, there's a check from the power company made out to you for that money you've overpaid, and that's how your bills can pay you.
And one of the things that you do not do, you already said that you don't sell a product, which is great. You also don't make them take and cash a check that was written by a king in Zimbabwe that you're going to take. This is not a scam, right, Tommy? How much does it cost for them to talk to you?
Absolutely nothing. This is what we offer, Zach. It's a no risk. It's a free analysis of your utility bills with no risk and no obligation. I've already said there's no obligation because you can say no at any point. It's free to do the initial analysis. Then if we find something and you decide to proceed, our compensation all comes out of money that we have first recovered or saved for you. So no one ever pays us a penny out of their pocket. And there's also no risk because I may review all these bills. I may spend hours looking at everything and I may not find anything. So there is risk, but it's all for me. I may do all this work and not make any money.
And you're never going to find fewer mistakes than you're going to charge.
That's right. Yes, exactly. So
So
I would just tell people it's free, risk-free, no obligation. It truly is one of those rare win-win situations, and the client has nothing to lose. So I want them to get to the point, and I've had this happen, where we're talking about it in our initial conversation, and the person will look at me and say, "Why wouldn't I do this?" Bingo. You're there.
can you give me some of the utilities that you guys specialize on? Sorry.
Yes. Part of it depends on where the client is located, because certain areas, there are certain utilities that make more errors than others in certain areas.
I think I have all of those. Just
Yes,
so you know, I think I have all of those.
You might very well. And something else, there are a lot of factors to consider. One is that solid waste disposal and telephone companies, telecommunication companies, they're not regulated by the Public Service Commission, like the power and the gas are in most states. Now, how much power the Public Service Commission wields in different states, that varies a lot. But in certain states where the PSC does not have a lot of power, that's where I really have to watch out for the power and the gas company, because they're kind of operating unabated. They can get away with a lot of things if no one calls them on it. And if you don't have the PSC to go to, your only resort is a lawsuit. And most people, especially individual consumers, their bill is not big enough to warrant a lawsuit. So it depends on how the PSC operates. It also depends, Zach, on whether or not the state itself, the utilities are deregulated or not. Where I live in Alabama, it's a regulated state. That means there's no competition. If you're with this power company, you're with this gas company, that's who you're stuck with. You don't have a choice. Other states, you have opportunities. And so that competition helps keep them honest. So to answer your question, it varies from state to state. But there are some states where I really, I find more with solid waste disposal. Others, it's more telecom. Others, it's more power. It all just varies.
Okay, so what happens here in Colorado? We have Excel for electricity and Atmos for gas. That's it. Those are our options, unless of course we go to propane or whatever. Is there a way? Is there still an opportunity for people to save money there or get money back from their bills, from their past bills?
Yes, absolutely. The fact that it's not deregulated, that's no problem. All that means is we cannot threaten one of those companies with switching to another company. It means that we cannot go in and negotiate in the typical sense. But that's okay, because primarily what I do anyway, Zach, is not those things. It's just looking for billing errors. There are all sorts of overcharges, and there are acts of commission, but also omission, things that sometimes should be on the bill that are not there. So the fact that there's just one company to choose from, that's no problem. I can still go in and find out if that company made an error. And if there is a legitimate error, they will correct it, and they will give you a refund, no matter whether the state's regulated or deregulated.
You know, when you said that, for some reason, the first thing that popped into my head was a call to Excel Energy. And you say, if you don't switch this, we're going to switch the companies. And you have like a mouse and a little running wheel connected to a generator, you know,
Yes.
because that would be who they would have to go through. So,
Exactly.
well, let's get this one out of the way. You already said the state that you're from, Alabama or Auburn?
Auburn, War Eagle, baby.
All right. So, yes.
I live in Auburn now, Zach.
Ah, do you? Yeah, 'cause you just recently moved.
We just moved here a couple of months ago. That's right.
So, how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this for a little over 28 years.
28 years.
Yes.
Tommy, what makes you keep going? What makes this so
And we're going to get to talking about your true love on who you like to support the most. But what keeps you doing this? What keeps the fire lit for Tommy Bach on helping people get through this difficult situation?
Yes, that's a great question, Zach, because I have stayed motivated through all these years doing this. My initial motivation was trying to feed my family, okay, trying to make enough money to cover expenses. I remember when I started this company, and my wife was very nervous because she was pregnant with her first child. And she said, I don't want to be rich. I just want enough money to pay the bills. And I said, all right, I'll start working on that. So that was the first goal, just paying the bills. So, but as time has gone by, my kids have gotten older, they're gone now. What keeps me going is the fact that I can't stand to see waste. I can't stand to see companies overpaying. There are certain companies that I'll ride by. I know they're overpaying. I've been doing it long enough. I know there are certain mistakes that are on their bills because I've worked with similar companies in that area. And every time I do, there's this certain error. And it just bothers me to know that they're overpaying. I don't like to see that happen. Also, the fact that if I don't go in and correct it, probably no one else is. There still are not very many people who do what I do, especially where I live. And there's nobody, and I say this with a great deal of confidence, there's nobody that I know of who's been doing it as long as I have. So there are certain tricks, things I've learned along the way that people don't know. So it motivates me to go in there and to make sure people are not spending any more than they have to.
You and I connected, and we ended up meeting and we ended up talking, and there was an instant attraction there because you love working with small to medium nonprofits.
That's right.
What is it about the nonprofits that really draws them to you?
You know, I was starting to make this change, Zach, in 2019, right before COVID hit. I was talking to my wife and I told her, I said, you know, I have always pursued the bigger companies because they have the bigger bills. That's where I can make the most money to educate our kids, to take care of all these expenses. But as they were starting to leave, I said, nobody's looking after the smaller guy, the smaller companies, and certainly the nonprofits. Most people who do what I do, and there's nothing wrong with this, but they're just pursuing the big commercial and industrial accounts because they have bigger bills, so you can make more. Mm-hmm. That makes perfect sense. But I'm at the point where I wanted to give back some. And I had worked with a few churches and schools along the way, a couple of government entities, which are nonprofits. So I'd worked with some nonprofits along the way. So I started thinking, I want to give back more. So right before COVID, I was starting to make that transition. Then COVID hit, Zach. The clients I already had who were nonprofits were complaining to me. They said, we're being killed by COVID because our donations are way down. And our donors still want to give, but they can't. They don't have the money. So I started thinking, you know, I can't replace all the money not coming in. But the one way that I can contribute, the one thing I know how to do is look at these utility bills, and I can slow down the money going out. Also, in a way, I can replace some of the money coming in through refunds that I get. It's very helpful to a nonprofit when you can not only lower their bills, but bring them a refund check. And I have several examples of nonprofits I worked with, and sometimes I didn't even know this going in, but I will get them a refund. And they'll say, you didn't know this, but we needed this amount to add this room to shelter one more child who's been abused. So it's so heartwarming to know, Zach, that when you save money for a nonprofit, they immediately take that money and they use it to help somebody. A commercial client invests it back in the business or it goes in someone's pocket. And hey, I love that. I'm all for that. That's capitalism. That's great. But it's a different feeling, though, just to see them directly help an individual.
We're looking right now at some of your testimonials, and I love seeing that this museum and motorsports park, you know, and then here's one from Lamar at Outdoor Advertising, 4,000 a month savings. And these aren't nickel and dime savings that you find. These aren't nickel and dime mistakes that you find most of the time, are they? These are something that have been repeatedly happening over and over again.
Yes, they can be very significant. And just that middle one that you just mentioned, the Barber Motorsports and Museum, that is a nonprofit in Birmingham, Alabama. Huge, great attraction to people who are interested in motorcycles. Now they have a racetrack there. They have all sorts of events. They're racing events, but it's also the world's largest motorcycle museum. So they called me. They actually called me. I had been talking to a sister company of theirs, but they called me because they had gotten a proposal, Zach. I'll tell you this story real quick because it conveys some important things. They had gotten a proposal from the power company, which is unusual to begin with, the power company even approaching them to put them on a different rate. And they said, if you'll sign this rate and we'll switch you over, you'll save $18,000 a year. So they thought, well, that sounds good. What's the catch? And they said, well, you're committed to this rate. You have to stay on this rate for 5 years. What they were really saying is you're going to be our customer for the next 5 years. You won't be able to go anywhere else. And at the time, Alabama was very seriously considering deregulating. So the power company was afraid they might lose this. This was a prize customer and they might lose them. So they came in and they made them this offer. Well, they were afraid to sign anything for 5 years without a third-party opinion. So they had me come look at it. I said, all right, let me crunch the numbers. So I said, first of all, if you do switch from rate A to rate B, they're right. You'll save $18,000. That's exactly right. No doubt about it. Sounds good. What they are not mentioning, though, is there's another rate, which I call rate C, that if you switch to that rate, you'll save $55,000 a year. And if you get on that rate, then you're eligible for a rider, which I call rate D, and that'll save you another $5,000. So the moral of this story is you really need an experienced, expert consultant to look at any document you might sign with the utility company, because they were going to sign this and they would have saved $18,000 a year. They would have thought the power company was heroes. It had been great. I got them to sign a different contract and they saved $60,000 a year. And they've been saving that, Zach, for over 10 years now.
When things like that happen, and Tommy, I'm not approaching you with this question with the intention on, hey, throw some dirt on some of these guys, but they have trained individuals who they tell the truth, as this company did, as this electric company did, but they don't tell all of it, do they? They leave out the little points that, you're going to save all this money, woo-hoo-hoo, but you could save more if you do this.
Right.
They leave that part out. They're trained to do that because they're trying to sell you, but not always with your best intentions in mind, right?
You don't want to cast aspersions with too wide of a net, right? So it depends on which company, and honestly depends on which individual sometimes. Maybe in this case, it depended on this guy's supervisor. I don't know. But they did not tell the whole story in this case. Now, I'm sure sometimes they do. But the point is, how are you supposed to know? If they're the expert and you're not the expert, well, you need to call in a third-party objective expert, somebody else to look at it who has your best interests at heart, to confirm it, or maybe not to confirm it, to see. It's just hard to know. We all know there are unscrupulous people out there. I have seen companies, especially the ones that I mentioned that are not regulated by the PSC, like solid waste companies, telephone companies, I have seen them sometimes intentionally overcharge and put in some bogus charges and put in some bogus rate increases on regular intervals. And again, there are honest people in all these industries, but you just have to, you've got to watch out for yourself. And so I'm here to offer that service. And sometimes and this is rare, but sometimes we don't find anything, and people will still thank me because they'll say, at least now I know. I always wondered if I was overpaying, and I am paying more than I want to, but at least I know I'm paying the lowest I can pay.
And again, those people, when you found nothing, how much did they pay?
They didn't pay a dime, nothing, but
That's
they got some peace of mind out of it.
Once again, Tommy is a verified partner. He's one of our brothers. He's been with us for a little over a year now, and we love having him. We love him as a great friend, and definitely love him as a partner. You are in the Alabama area, but where can you work?
Actually, I work, Zach, all over the country. My most recent clients have been in Florida and the state of Washington. So that's pretty much one corner to the other.
That really truly is, right?
Yes.
Tip to tip. So
I can work
as everybody in Florida.
I'm trying to work. It's kind of a goal of mine to have at least one client in every state. I just think it would be fun to be able to say that. So I've worked in a lot of different states, Zach. It doesn't matter where people are located. In fact, I'm about to have my first clients in Canada and in Puerto Rico. And it seems like the only qualification is they either have to speak English, or as in the case of Puerto Rico, I need to have a contact who's bilingual. So I always thought language was the barrier, but in Puerto Rico, I don't think it will be. But to answer your question, where the people who might be hearing this are concerned, I can work in any of the 50 states.
As long as you're not in Canada where they only speak French.
I'm trying to work in the English part of Canada, right? The English speaking part.
So, all right. Tommy, how did people get a hold of you, my friend?
Yes, there are a couple of different ways. Probably the easiest way, Zach, is to go to my LinkedIn profile, which, hey, one of the advantages, Zach, of having an unusual last name, if you type in Tommy Bop, you're going to find me. There are not too many of us floating around out there. So
there was that one, but he was a cartoon character and he doesn't quite look like you. So, but
yes. So there now I will tell you this, my mom's name was Betty Bop, and boy, did she take a lot of grief because of Betty Boop.
Wow.
Being out there.
Your dad had to have thought that was hilarious when they first started dating.
Oh, yes. Well, I told my mom, I said, I know you had to really love my dad if you were willing to take on that name, your first name. People can reach me on LinkedIn. They can type in my name. They can type in Utility Bill Pro. People can send me an email at just tfbop@gmail.com. But LinkedIn, I think, is the easiest.
Yep. And once again, that's utilitybillpro.com is the website. You can also get a hold of him at 334-354-2563. Once again, that's area code 354-2563. So, Tommy, thank you very much for joining us for this interview. We greatly appreciate it. You keep up the great work. And how's the summer going there for you?
Everything's going fine, except it is extremely hot. It feels like it's always hot and humid in Alabama in the summer. It seems to have come a little early this year, and maybe be a little bit hotter. But work is going great. COVID has a silver lining. I've met a lot of people like you who I would not have met otherwise, because of Zoom and networking, and that's why I've been expanding and working with people all over the country, because I no longer have to go visit them in person. We can do it like this.
That's right.
Yeah.
When we first met Tommy and he came to Families, Cubs, and Causes, he comes out there, we're all dying, you know, we're sitting there sweating, just dying. It was hot, hot, hot. Tommy comes walking in, he's like shivering, you know, he's like, it's not hot here. What are you guys talking about? You know, so yeah, we were like going, no, you're just not human. I don't know what you guys, what it is with you guys down in lower elevations, but you know, I don't see how you guys can do that. My fiance just was in New Mexico over the weekend, and it was like 103 there. And I told her,
yeah.
when you come back, do not bring that with you.
No.
Don't do it. I don't want it here. So, but
No.
all right. Once again, Tommy, I thank you so very much for joining us. As always, we love having you in the Community Pay It Forward program. You can always find Tommy under bill mitigation and a couple other places on our verified partners page. So please make sure that you look them up. Take a look at everything you got to do. What's it hurt, folks? You know what? We're coming into a time where we know the recession is going to be hitting some businesses really, really hard. This is the time to call somebody. Make sure you're not overpaying, because overpaying is something nobody can afford to do now. So please call Tommy. Tommy, one more time, how do they get a hold of you?
They can reach me on my LinkedIn page. Look up Tommy Bop or Utility Bill Pro. My email is tfbop@gmail.com, and my phone 334-354-2563.
So much easier you saying it than me trying to read it and
Yes.
speak it at the same time. So
Right.
well, once again, this has been a PACT short. We've been here with Tommy Bop of Utility Bill Pro, formerly the Balcom Group. But we're going to be bringing you many, many more of our partners. Tommy is a gold partner, so he's going to be with us for quite a while. Be looking for this to be running about twice a week. If you have any questions, please make sure you give him a call. You have nothing to lose, literally nothing to lose. They find nothing. Tommy, is it easy for you to make up something to where people have to pay?
It's impossible. They will see either the refund check itself or the savings on the bill. And if they have any questions, I can show them how the savings are calculated. The one thing I always tell people, Zach, there's no guesswork when it comes to the savings. It is quantifiable right down to the penny, and I can show them that.
There you go. It's not going to scam you, not going to cost you anything if they find nothing. And if they do find something, you still get money back. All you got to do is give them a call. Once again, you can find out more about them. Give them a call, 334-354-2563. Tommy Bop with Utility Bill Pro. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Zach. Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great day.
All right, you do the same.
Okay, everybody, we ran a little bit later than we usually do, but well, that's kind of what we do. So I want to thank Dr. Look, Dr. Brenda is so inspirational. You have to admit that. I mean, if you didn't get excited, you know, I just don't know. I don't know how you couldn't get excited listening to her. So we were hoping to be joined by another group Unfortunately, they were unable to join us. We're going to try to get Colorado language involved within the next month or two. The president, the founder, Shaneth, found us tonight on LinkedIn, and she said hi. So we wanted to say hi back, and we also wanted to thank Bart for jumping on from Veterans Honoring Veterans. Your presence was felt, and we appreciate it. I also want to thank Stephanie Samos, the goddess of the grape, for everything that she does. If it was not for her program and her wine, I wouldn't be buzzed right now. You know? Anyway, and then Tommy Bach joined us, and as you guys heard, it's one of the greatest things in the world what he does, because it doesn't cost you a damn bit. It doesn't cost you a dime, but it can save your company hundreds, if not thousands. You saw the reference there, over $4,000 a year. I mean, who couldn't use over $4,000 in a year? I think that none of us are going to sit there and say, "Oh, not me. What am I going to do with it?" You know. But I also want to thank Emily Golmer, and I want to thank Sarah Goodell for keeping my head on straight, keeping the show running, and doing a great job as producers. And we cannot wait to see you next week right here on pACT. Please, everybody, please remember to love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. Make sure that if you have extra clothing, extra anything, you share it with somebody in your community who needs your help. It does you no good, can do a world of difference for somebody in need. If you have extra food, make sure you throw it in the old redneck Tupperware, throw it in an old butter bowl, and heat it up. Go give it to somebody battling with hunger. There's no reason for anybody to go alone when we all come together. My name is Zach Clayton. This has been the founder and president of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. And I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Join us again next week for pACT. Thank you. Have a great night. Please be safe. Love somebody. Have a good night.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.